Hello and welcome to the first episode of Archer's Tales. What we're going to do is just do a little story, and then we're just going to go off from that story and just chat about anything. Um, Yesterday, on my way to the station of King's Cross, literally had a few stuff with me to take to storage. Some of you might be aware, but I am an actor and I got booked for a shoot in Norwich. I'm in between moving from one flat to another, so I'm in a hostel at the moment. But it's not too bad. Um, but I haven't had a chance to move because we've been in lockdown. Now, I'm not. I have been working very, very hard to find a new place to live, but due to lockdown, and I want a specific place, like a two-bedroom flat, so I can have one bedroom for because I got the green screen and lights in storage as well. It'd be nice to have a room where we can have like a podcast and I can do self tapes and things like that. But finding a decent sized bedroom in London is kind of mad, as you probably were well aware. So anyway, I got booked for a shoot in Norwich for about a week. And what I'm doing is I am putting most of the stuff I don't need into storage with the rest of the stuff, basically. So I'm walking with like two bags in my hand of a mixture of clothing and papers and various stuff that I won't need in Norwich. And I'm pretty happy with things because I've reassessed everything. So with lockdown for a month, or for the first lockdown that we had for a few months before, it's a good time to think and reassess everything that you want to do because no one expected the first lockdown. I kind of expected the second lockdown, but no one expected the first lockdown where literally the government says you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything that you want to do, and that's it. So yeah, it's a good time to have a think of what is important, like family, like friends, like your mental health, like your physical health, like eating well, like what are your goals? What is it that you truly want out of life? And I did that. And I had it pretty much down. I said to myself, okay, we're going to go to Norwich and then have that week in Norwich. Then I'm going to go up and see my mum in Bradford. As you can tell with my accent, I'm from Bradford, West Yorkshire. So just before Christmas, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to come back down to London, stay in a hostel, wherever, and then just spend the rest of this year finding this two-bedroom place. Because for 2 weeks, just before and after New Year's and Christmas, the film industry kind of stops because they're having this break. So it's a good time to just focus on finding some place. Now I found a nice viewing someplace over in Hoxton, East London, where I was staying before. But I just want to make sure I view other places because I don't think it's right, especially if I'm spending 2, 3 weeks filming elsewhere, to spend close to £3,000 when you include the deposit on a flat, and you're not going to spend 2, 3 weeks in the flat because you're going to be filming elsewhere or you're going to be traveling and seeing family. So I figure, well, I can save quite a bit of money if I stay in a hostel. It's not too bad, especially when there's less people in the room. You can still do what you need to do. And when January comes, boom, it's fine because I'm going to spend I'm going to spend that full month in the flat, if you see what I'm saying. And I can get the equipment like the mics, the cameras. I've got one camera, I need to get two more cameras. And we can go from there. We can do a proper podcast and you can see like green screens, and you can put anything you want, and then you can get guests in and you can talk about various things. So I have it all planned out. And I'm feeling very happy about myself as I move some bags from the hostel I'm staying in to the storage place. So I'm going down the road and I'm heading to King's Cross Underground Station. So it's wet, it's been raining, it's pretty cold, but I'm fine. I'm kind of down in a bit of I'm listening to a podcast, I think, on YouTube. I'm going, yeah, things are going well. I mean, it's been a difficult year, but touch wood, no one I know has died of coronavirus. I think I might have had it like back in March, April, when I lost taste in my mouth. But since then, I've had tests before going on to various sets in the recent few weeks, and everything's fine. And I'm fit and healthy. I know the people aren't, and I know the people have died from it, and I know the people have had various issues, not just because of coronavirus, it's also the financial implications as well. I mean, a lot of people have lost their jobs, a lot of people have lost family members, a lot of people are finding not the purpose in life or the things that they wanted to do has been stopped or curtailed. Imagine if you're in hospitality and you're happy with the decision you made. You went to university, you've got all these degrees, these qualifications, and all of a sudden the government comes along and says, well, for the next year or two, we could do these intermittent lockdowns and you could be out of work, or you could be getting only 70 to 80% of your wage. And if you're living in an expensive place like London, 70, 80% of your wage means that you're not paying rent, or you're having a choice between paying rent and feeding yourself. And if you have a family, that could be even worse, because how are you meant to make that choice between feeding your family and paying rent? So I'm fully aware that I am very lucky, but I'm feeling happy because I'm like, yeah, I've got a nice bit of work throughout December. And so even if nothing happens for the rest of the year after this point, I've got a good amount of money coming in. So I'm happy with that. And the plan is to continue acting, but have this podcast and have that as the kind of the side hustle in between the acting. So I'm like, yeah, I'm happy with it. So I'm making this walk down to King's Cross, and in King's Cross station, one of the exits is quite a steep staircase as you go down to get into the underground. And I got 2 bags in my hand, and you can imagine I'm kind of in a daydream, just trying to get the job done, literally get the stuff across. And then all of a sudden, as I'm walking down these steps, and remind you, it's slippy, my left leg kind of slips on one of these stairs and goes from under me. And I almost, literally, everything goes almost fall backwards, but my right leg kind of flexes almost out of position. So instead of flexing at the kneecap where it normally flexes, kind of like that, it kind of went like that almost under me, just to keep me upright. And then I got my left leg in, but it hurt my right knee because it's not meant to flex where it was, just to keep me upright. And you can imagine I'm a 14 stone now body, trying to, on one knee, trying to keep it upright instead of falling backwards and cracking my head on the steps. So anyway, I regained my balance and I walked down the stairs, and my knee's paining me. It's killing me off. But I'm able to walk, and it's just like, and then it occurred to me as I walk and the pain's kind of going through me and it's subsiding a bit, that all these plans that I was making in my head, all these things that I'd done, all these to get me to this point where I'm pretty happy most of the time, all these things that I thought I knew and reestablished about myself and made me feel like I knew where I was going. All these things that I was working towards meant nothing in that moment, because in that moment, I could have been dead. In that moment, I could have broke my leg and not been able to go to Norwich and not being able to do the shoot and not being able to make the money. And in that moment, I realized all these plans that I've been making, in a blink of an eye, gone. There's a famous saying, God makes fools of those who makes plans, or something along those lines. Or God laughs at those that make plans, because, anything can happen. And in that moment, I realized how fortunate I am to have so much time to think about doing these things, but also implement them. Like right now, this podcast, we're starting it on my mobile phone. We're not starting it in the studio. We're not starting it with guests. We're not starting it on a DSLR. We're not having professional mics. We're just literally doing this now on our mobile phone. And hopefully we can continue to do that moving forward. And hopefully you guys will like it and give me suggestions of how to improve it. And as we go on, you'll see improvements. You'll see I'm in a studio. You'll see we have professional mics. You'll see guests, and we'll hopefully have a little fun. But what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is tomorrow's not promised. We all say that. We all know that deep down. But tomorrow isn't promised. You don't know where you're going to be in the next few days, in the next few hours. You don't know if you're going to have a job next month, next year, because of what's going on. So whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to say, whatever it is that person you want to call up and tell that you love them, that you care about them, whatever job it is that you want to pursue, whatever career it is that you want to finally just do, don't wait until the new year. Don't wait until these New Year's resolutions and you're saying, it's been a terrible year. As someone said to me in the family, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sleep for the next 20 odd days because it's been terrible. Don't wait, because tomorrow's not promised. You could slip on the steps of King's Cross St. Pancras, crack your head on your way down, end up in hospital, and all those plans are gone. All those good intentions that you had, that you said you were going to do, are gone because you're having to recover from this accident or this fall or this illness or the fact that you've not been able to work because of whatever issues have happened. Tomorrow is not promised. So might as well start it today, whatever it is. If you need to go to the gym, go to the gym now. If you wanted to say hello to that guy, say hello to them now. If you wanted to quit your frigging job because it's soul destroying and the people there are just taking the piss and you have an option to go out there and do it, obviously I can't tell you to do it now because you might be thinking it's Christmas time, I want to make sure I have enough money, but do it as soon as you possibly can. Don't wait. Don't think, this is the thing, fear is the mind killer. People are afraid that if they take that step that bad things will happen. Well, what I'm trying to say to you is you might not have the time to do it tomorrow. So do it now. Even if you're living 1 or 2 days where you're completely happy and joyous pursuing what it is that you love. I mean, I tell you what, I'd rather live those 2 or 3 days than live 30 or 40 years depressed, angry, annoyed because I was too scared to wake up one day and do what I love. Hence the reason I'm an actor, and hence the reason I want to make films and do this podcast, because I think there are other stories out there to talk about and to tell people about. So why not do it? Why not tell so many more stories? Why not have people talk that you haven't seen before and hopefully entertain you and make you laugh and make you cry? Who knows? Let's see where it goes, because tomorrow's not promised. So let's start now. Thank you for watching. Take care. And I'll do another one pretty soon. Probably do another one when I'm in Norwich, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel. There'll be more videos coming, and then you'll be able to see the videos first when they come as well. If you like the video, please like it as well. I appreciate it. Until next time, you take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.